Julius Caesar. The name echoes through history, resonating with tales of power, ambition, and transformation. He is remembered as a great general, a powerful ruler, and a key figure in the Roman Republic's transformation into an empire. His military prowess and strategic genius are still studied in military academies around the world. But before the legions and the laurels, Caesar was a boy born into a turbulent world. A world where the seeds of his future greatness were sown amidst chaos and uncertainty. Caesar was born in 100 BC into the patrician Julius family, an ancient and respected lineage. This family, though noble, was not at the pinnacle of Roman society. His family claimed descent from Aeneas, the mythical hero of Troy, and Venus, the goddess of love. This illustrious ancestry was a source of pride and a reminder of the greatness expected of him. However, despite their noble name, the Julii were not particularly wealthy or influential at the time. They lived modestly, their status more a relic of the past than a reflection of their current power. Rome itself was in a state of constant change and upheaval. The city was a melting pot of cultures, ideas and ambitions, the place where fortunes could be made and lost in the blink of an eye. The Republic, already vast, was expanding its borders through conquest. Each new territory brought wealth and slaves, but also new challenges and conflicts. Internal power struggles between different factions and ambitious individuals were common. The Senate was a battleground of ideas and ambitions where alliances were made and broken with alarming frequency. It was in this world, a world both promising and perilous, that young Caesar took his first steps. The streets of Rome were his playground and the city's vibrant life his first teacher. Caesar's childhood coincided with a period of growing social and economic tensions in Rome. The gap between the rich and the poor was widening and the city's stability was increasingly fragile. This instability would shape his worldview and influence his later actions. He saw firsthand the struggles of the common people, their hopes and their frustrations. He witnessed firsthand the plight of the Roman people and the struggles of the lower classes. These early experiences instilled in him a deep understanding of the social dynamics of Rome. These experiences would stay with him and later inform his political decisions. As he grew older, he would draw upon these memories, using them to navigate the complex and often dangerous world of Roman politics. Young Caesar was also a keen student, absorbing knowledge from various sources. He studied rhetoric, philosophy and law, preparing himself for the challenges that lay ahead. His education was rigorous, guided by some of the best teachers of his time. They instilled in him the skills and knowledge that would later prove invaluable in his rise to power. Even as a young boy, Caesar was ambitious, dreaming of greatness. He was determined to restore his family's fortunes and make a name for himself in the annals of history. His family, though not wealthy, supported his ambitions. They believed in his potential and encouraged his dreams, providing him with the foundation he needed to pursue his goals. Caesar's early life was a blend of learning and practice, of dreams and realities. He trained in the arts of war and governance, preparing himself for the future that awaited him. The world he was born into was tumultuous, but it was also a world of opportunity. For young Caesar, it was a world ripe for the taking, a stage upon which he would one day leave an indelible mark. Education in ancient Rome was crucial for young men aspiring to positions of power. It was a rigorous process that began at an early age and continued well into their teenage years. For a boy from a patrician family like Caesar, a comprehensive education was not just expected, it was essential. The education of a young Roman noble was a blend of academic learning and practical training, designed to prepare him for the multifaceted demands of Roman society. Caesar's education was carefully curated to prepare him for a life in the tumultuous world of Roman politics. His tutors were often esteemed scholars, and the curriculum was designed to instill a deep understanding of Roman law, governance, and civic duty. Caesar received a traditional Roman education focusing on rhetoric, oratory, law, and history. These subjects were considered the pillars of a well-rounded education, essential for anyone who aspired to public office. He learned to speak eloquently, debate persuasively, and navigate the complex legal system. Mastery of rhetoric was particularly important as it was the key to influencing public opinion and swaying the decisions of the Senate. He also studied Greek, the language of philosophy and literature, which was considered essential for any educated Roman. Greek culture had a profound influence on Roman society, and knowledge of Greek texts was a mark of sophistication and intellectual prowess. Beyond the classroom, Caesar also received practical training in warfare. This was a critical component of his education, as military prowess was highly valued in Roman culture. He learned to ride, fight, and command troops. These skills were not only necessary for personal defense, but also for leading men in battle, a common expectation for Roman leaders. This practical experience would prove invaluable in his later military career. The discipline and strategic thinking required in military training were directly applicable to the political arena. He studied the strategies of great generals of the past, learning from their victories and defeats. This historical knowledge provided him with a framework for his own military campaigns. He understood that true power in Rome was often won and maintained on the battlefield. Military success could elevate a man to the highest echelons of power and secure his legacy. Caesar's education was not limited to military and political matters. He was also deeply immersed in the cultural and intellectual life of Rome. He was also a man of culture, deeply interested in literature, philosophy, and the arts. His education included the study of Roman and Greek literature, which enriched his understanding of human nature and the world. He was known for his sharp wit, his love of poetry, and his patronage of writers and artists. Caesar's support of the arts was not just a personal passion, but also a means of cultivating a sophisticated and enlightened public image. At the age of 16, tragedy struck Caesar's life. His father, Gaius Julius Caesar, died suddenly. Though the exact circumstances remain unclear, this loss deeply affected the young Caesar, forcing him to assume the mantle of head of the family earlier than expected. With his father gone, Caesar found a new mentor in his uncle by marriage, Gaius Marius. Marius, a new man who had risen through the ranks of the army to become consul, recognized Caesar's potential and took him under his wing. Marius was a controversial figure, a champion of the common people and a staunch opponent of the Roman aristocracy. He reformed the Roman army, opening it up to the landless poor and creating a more professional and formidable fighting force. However, his reforms also earned him powerful enemies among the Roman elite. Under Marius's tutelage, Caesar gained first-hand experience in Roman politics and military affairs. He witnessed the brutal realities of Roman power struggles and learned the importance of cultivating popular support. Marius's influence on Caesar was profound, shaping his political views and his ambitions for the future. Rome's internal divisions erupted into violence in 88 BC with the outbreak of the Social War. This was a pivotal moment in Roman history, as the conflict was not just a simple rebellion, but a full-scale war that threatened the very fabric of the Republic. This conflict pitted Rome against its Italian allies, who demanded full Roman citizenship and rights. These allies had long fought alongside Rome, contributing to its military successes, yet they were denied the privileges and protections that came with citizenship. Marius, as a champion of the popular classes, supported the Italian demands. He believed that granting citizenship would strengthen Rome by integrating its allies more fully into the state, thus ensuring their loyalty and support in future conflicts. However, another ambitious general, Lucius Cornelius Sulla, emerged as Marius's rival. Sulla was a patrician with a very different vision for Rome, one that prioritized the power and privileges of the traditional elite. Sulla, a ruthless and cunning strategist, opposed granting citizenship to the Italians and saw an opportunity to seize power for himself. He believed that the demands of the Italian allies threatened the established order and the supremacy of the Roman aristocracy. When Sulla marched on Rome with his legions, a move unheard of in Roman history, it plunged the Republic into a bloody civil war. This unprecedented act of aggression against the city itself was a clear signal that Sulla was willing to go to any lengths to achieve his goals. Marius and his supporters, including Caesar, were driven from the city. The streets of Rome, once bustling with daily life, became battlegrounds, and those who opposed Sulla found themselves in grave danger. During this time of turmoil, Caesar proved his courage and loyalty, refusing to abandon his mentor even when Sulla placed a price on his head. This act of defiance marked Caesar as a man of principle and bravery, willing to risk his life for those he believed in. Sulla eventually emerged victorious from the civil war, assuming the title of dictator and unleashing a reign of terror against his enemies. His rule was marked by proscriptions, a series of purges where those who opposed him were executed or exiled, their properties confiscated. Marius died in exile, but Caesar, through a combination of luck, bravery, and the intercession of powerful friends, managed to escape Sulla's wrath. His survival during this perilous time was nothing short of miraculous. Given the extent of Sulla's reach and the number of his enemies, he was forced to flee Rome, living in hiding and narrowly avoiding capture. Each day was a struggle for survival as Sulla's agents scoured the land for him, determined to eliminate any threat to Sulla's power. This experience left an indelible mark on Caesar, fueling his ambition and his determination to never again be at the mercy of his enemies. It was during these years of hardship and danger that Caesar's resolve was forged, setting the stage for his future rise to power and his eventual transformation of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire.